Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and it is the 20th of the month. So we have done 2/3 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, round 7. Can you believe it? I hope you guys are having a great time, and I hope you guys are playing along and posting things with the hashtag and in the Facebook group so we can see what you're making. So today's sketch was done by Bryn Shiva. I hope I'm saying that right. And then it was picked by Julia Gully. So Christy ran like a little contest, and she randomly picked people, and they got to pick the sketches for this round, which is super exciting. And so this one has quite a few hexagons, and I got a hexagon punch for Christmas. So yes, I needed to use it. So the collection that I am using is the Dear Lizzie, I think it's called It's All Good. So I have taken just the background piece that has a bunch of hashtag words on it from the paper pad, and then from the 6x8 pad, I just punched out a ton of hexagons. So in the sketch, they're obviously bigger hexagons, and it calls for 2 photos, but I only had one photo that I wanted to do, this one right here of my daughter when we were camping. She was reading in the hammock, and I will do something a little different for that second photo. So the great thing with sketches is you can always make them work for what you're playing with. You can always add more photos, take more photos away. You can turn them, like there's so many things that you can do with them, which is super exciting. So I also have the Bright Side chipboard sheet from Fancy Pants, and it has a ton of hexagon chipboard pieces, and it's like 1 through 9. And I decided I was going to get all of those on there. So I'm just going to scatter those randomly. And I just took a strip of one of the papers from the 6x8 pad, and that's what I'm going to use as my vertical piece of paper that you see in the sketch. Now for my second photo, I am going to use what could be considered like a Polaroid photo, but it's a die cut, but that's what it looks like. And it said, "The grass is greener where you water it." So I thought that was cute. I know it's not a literal saying, but there's a bunch of grass in the background, but it is really all what you make of things. So I am going to take one of these Simple Stories bows. Now these bows are like from a Christmas collection, but I felt like this blue went really well. So I'm going to get one of those on there. And then I have some perspectives from Bramble Fox. It's called Our Story. So it comes with a title that says Our Story, and then 2 like open books. So I'm going to get both of those open books on to this layout, and there's going to be one that you can see right there under that Polaroid die cut. And then before I stick everything down, I decided I was going to ink some edges. So I don't ink edges like I used to. Back in the day, I used to ink the edges all the time. I am using a distressed ink in peeled paint, and just using the little dauber on there. So I did all of the edges of the hexagons as well as that border strip. And I even put a little bit on the bow. So I was trying to figure out what kind of title I wanted. I did want it to be something about a story because she's reading, but I didn't think that Our Story was appropriate because it's just her. So I found this Vicky Bouton section, and it said the story. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. And so that is going to be my title. And then I had decided I wanted to do some shaker bags, shaker pillows. It's not really a pocket. So these sequins are called See Ya Summer from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And I poured a little bit in my dish. And at this point, I'm thinking I just wanted the one down at the bottom. And so I just zipped it up and tucked it under there, which is super nice. But then I am going to scatter these sequins all over the page. No real rhyme or reason. Just I thought that this page needed sparkle everywhere. So that's what it's going to get. I do use Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. So what I do is I take my adhesive, I do little dots of where I want all of the sequins to be, and then I use my crystal katana to pick them up, and it's got a waxy tip on it. So I pick it up, plop it down, and then I flip it over, and there's like a metal piece, and then I push them down into the glue so that I don't get that glue all over my wax tip. And yes, absolutely love that tool. So I'm going to do it to both sides, and apparently I'm going to make you watch it all. So while I am doing that, it's a good time to remind you to check the description box below so you can see everybody else's take on this layout, as well as join the Facebook group and use the hashtag so we can see what you're doing. And of course, if you need some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins, you can use my code Crystal15 to save 15%. These ones aren't in the shop anymore, but there are plenty of gorgeous ones. And I am using a ton of sequins this month, so I hope that I am inspiring you to dig into your sequin stash and use them up as well. So now that I have all of those sequins down, I'm realizing that it would be fun to do a pocket up at the top as well. So I went and grabbed another little empty bag, sequin bag. And so as soon as I finish them, I always save the bags because they are just perfect. And I didn't, because it's going to go on the top, I run a little bit of glue across to make it a little bit smaller so that they don't fall down behind the photo. And then I just add adhesive, and I'm just going to tuck that down at the top. And now it looks like I have this big like sequin pocket going all the way from the top all the way down to the bottom, even though I am definitely not wasting any of those sequins behind the photo. So this title was starting to pop up on me, and so I'm just going to add some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to pop that down and make sure that that stays. The nice thing is, even if you're a little sloppy with it, it dries clear, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go through the die cuts. I don't have a ton of them left, but I am going to pull out a few of them, as well as this chipboard banner that has rainbow hearts on it. And from experience of the other things on my page, I know that it's going to need some extra adhesive. So I'm going to pop that down, and then I grab this little stamp that has a piggy on it, and I'm just using it for color. So that's going to go right there behind my photo. And then I grab another ticket that says blissed out, and I'm going to put that kind of behind but on top. So on top of the photo but behind that big die cut piece. So that is going to do it for my layout today. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I would love to chat with you. And I'm curious to see what everybody else does. I'm curious if they're going to embrace the hexagons or a different shape. So there are those perspectives from Bramble Fox, and my layout is complete. So remember to wear your crown, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.